What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we have some Friday the 13th updates to share with you coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. We last talked about the Friday the 13th franchise outside of Crystal Lake, outside of the prequel series. We've been talking about that, obviously, when new things come about, whether it's been casting, whether it's been first look images, synopsis, things of that nature. But we did cover a while back about when we got the first images of what the new look and feel of Jason Voorhees is going to be. We weren't all that excited about it. Didn't look that menacing. It was concept art. And while I said at the time it didn't like it, I also said maybe I'll change my mind when I see it in something live action. It might look a little bit better. It might look a bit worse. We don't know. But at the time, I still stand 10 toes down that it didn't look that menacing. Still doesn't look that menacing in the concept art. And we also talked about the report that they were going to be doing a short film, either sponsored by or it was going to be some sort of like commercial type advertisement marketing for Apple Orchard. I think it's like a beer or an ale. And again, we were shocked by that. Like, really, you're going to be doing a short film for something like that rather than give us a full-fledged new Friday the 13th film that we've been waiting for ages on because no one can get these IP rights issues resolved. But here we are, again, right in the middle of San Diego Comic-Con. We have some updates as far as you see here, film and video game in early development, and they did release a teaser for that short film called Sweet Revenge. So we're going to take a look at that teaser as well. I did check the timestamp on it, as I always do. For those, it is only about 47 seconds long, so it is a true to core teaser. Not that long, so we'll have to see what they can give to us, what they can manage to squeeze into 47 seconds. I'm hoping they show Jason in there somewhere versus just kind of a shadowy or kind of like, really just making us think or seeing things from his perspective. I'm hoping we get to see him. So we're first, though, going to take a look at this article here that was put out today. Then we'll jump over to the article for the teaser, see what we can learn about what's going on with that, and then we'll wrap it up with watching the teaser. So, as the headline states here, again, this was just dropped today. New Friday the 13th film and video game in early development. The Sweet Revenge teaser wasn't the only Friday the 13th reveal at San Diego Comic-Con last night. And again, that's what we're going to be watching here in a moment. Horror Incorporated Vice President Robbie Barismin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, confirmed that a new sequel film and video game are in early development. Quote, I can tell you that a new sequel movie and new sequel game are at the top of our list. It's where most of our energy's going right now. And I can tell you, finally, we're in a position to deliver on that. While we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming. They're both in the works and they are both coming. All right, so that's the end of that quote. As you can see in the clip below, the audience erupted at the news. It's been 16 long years and counting since Jason Voorhees graced the big screen. While we wait for a new film, the prequel series, Crystal Lake, we talked about that. It's coming to Peacock. I think they just started. They haven't even started production yet because they just casted the kid actor who's going to be playing Jason. So production hasn't even filming, whatever you want to call it, hasn't even started on that yet. Showrunner Brad Caleb Kane wasn't able to attend in person due to filming, but he sent an exclusive video message featuring some behind-the-scenes footage from the show. Okay, so it looks like they have started filming, but that's right, because the article we covered for the child who's in the Chucky series got casted as the kid version of Jason, and he's only guest starring in the series, Crystal Lake. He's not even full-fledged in it. So that would make sense. Then they've already started production, and they'll probably just put his pieces in there as they need it. So, all right, let's keep going. The footage was exclusive to San Diego. Okay, no, actually, let's see here. But he sent an exclusive video message featuring some behind-the-scenes footage from the show. The footage was exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, but expect more on Crystal Lake in the coming weeks. Yeah, I would imagine. Typically, what happens with something like this, if it's not something like Marvel where it's really big or DC, I imagine, as I just said, here in a couple weeks, we will probably get that behind-the-scene footage released somewhere. All right, so nothing else for this article. So we're going to jump over now to the article covering the teaser that was dropped last night as well. Sweet Revenge, Jason Voorhees is officially back in first look at Jason Universe Project. That's the teaser here. So, okay, we have an image here. All right, so this is, I imagine this is from the teaser we're getting ready to see. It does look, I mean, it's pretty spot on to what the concept art looked like. It looks a bit better, but I'm hoping we get to see his like overall size, because from here it's kind of hard to see how menacing, how big he is, because we've seen him look pretty big in other of the other films, especially in the remake that they did. He was almost like larger than life when comparing to his victims. Here he doesn't look to be that way, but it could just be the angle, could be deceiving. But we are getting our first look at what the new Jason is going to look like. Obviously has the classic hockey mask, doesn't have any hair, but he does look pretty thin, doesn't look all that, again, all that big. But let's just see what they show us in this teaser. All right, so the Jason Universe was on hand at San Diego Comic-Con tonight to show off a first look at Sweet Revenge, described as a short form that will serve as the centerpiece of the franchise's bold 45th anniversary campaign, and marks the official return of Jason Voorhees for the first time in many years. You can watch there below, which we're going to do. So, okay, so Sweet Revenge. So the short will officially premiere on the 13th of August. So not, what, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks away, give or take. Angry Orchard is sponsoring the upcoming. Jason Voorhees teases fans will drop into a chilling weekend in the woods filled with blood-soaked surprises only Jason can deliver. Sweet Revenge is directed by Mike P. Nelson, who did Wrong Turn. I'm not sure if that's the original Wrong Turn. If it is, I love the original Wrong Turn. The first film that was done in that overall franchise, I enjoyed it. I think they took it a bit too far, doing, I think, another 4 or 5 films after that, which were never really that good, to be honest. But that first film, Wrong Turn, definitely solidified for me never to go off on like the beaten path, right? Stay on the main road. Don't need to try to find a shortcut because you're late for a meeting. And if you break down in the middle of the woods on a dirt road, you're pretty much screwed. That's what that movie taught me. All right, so who also recently wrapped production on Jasonverse and discussing Silent Night, Deadly Night reboot, which my understanding is a teaser dropped for that as well. So if it has, and I can confirm that, we will do a separate video on that teaser, because I remember they've already done a teaser for that several months back, and it was just kind of like a dark setting in the snow. We saw someone walking through the snow, and that was pretty much it. So we'll have to see what this new teaser supposedly that dropped will show us. All right, let's keep going and wrap this one up. Quote, I am so grateful that the team at Horror Incorporated saw something in Sweet Revenge and wanted it as part of the Jason Voorhees story, Nelson said in a statement. And to think 30 years ago I was trying to secretly watch these movies on VHS when no one was looking. To have the opportunity to write and direct one of these stories is surreal, not to mention having a team. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's keep going. Friday, yeah, a lot of this we've already talked about as far as the partnership. Angry Orchard, who share our passion. Yeah, more just patting on the bat packs, right? Everyone's patting each other on the back. It's great to work with everybody, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get it. Let's just get to the meat of this here. Again, we're beyond excited. Okay, whatever. Jason Universe is also a key figure in the upcoming Crystal Lake. Yep, we know that. All right, we have the teaser, no poster. All right, let's get into it, because again, a lot of that we already know. We don't need to just keep repeating it over and over again. All right, let's get into this teaser. Again, I checked the timestamp, 47 seconds, give or take. So I'm not sure how much of Jason we're going to see, but I imagine whatever this scene is with Jason, because we're seeing him, I imagine it's going to be in this teaser trailer. So let's get into it.
You all settled in?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, look at this.
You got a beautiful spot here.
The property's had a bit of a troubled past.
What kind of trouble?
Oh, you know, the usual story. Revenge.
What happened?
Anyway, you kids have fun.
All right, so that was a pretty, yeah, I said it was a pretty quick trailer. It was only 47 seconds long. We obviously got to see that scene from the image. We got to see Jason, and it gives you, it has obviously that modern take like it should. It's happening present time. We're not jumping back into the past again, going back to the 70s or 80s. We're staying current time. Obviously, you can tell they're inserting that Angry Orchard, a couple of them had the bottles. They're eating the apples, so they're obviously tying that in there. We saw a brief moment of Jason jumping out of the water, not a child version, but an adult version of Jason coming out of the water. We saw him in the garage as well, and then we saw him walking from behind, carrying the machete, picking up one of the teenagers or one of the young adults by her throat. We then got to see his height compared to hers. But then we also got to see his mask right there as they were face to face. And then we jump into where he's in this kitchen house trying to kill them all. And that's where we get that final scene when he has his machete and he's stabbing it through the door that's on top of somebody. I'll say that was a really good teaser. I mean, I'm hyped for it. I want to see a little bit more of Jason though, because we got to see a couple quick snapshots of him. He's moving a lot faster than he normally was in all the other films. Now, I say that because, like, Michael Myers never runs after anybody. He walks and he knows he's going to get where he needs to go. He knows he's going to catch up to his victims. We've seen Jason, and especially in the remake, moving a lot quicker than he was in all those original films. Same as with this one, when he was carrying the machete. We see him walking down this dirt road. So yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I mean, for a short film. And I said when this first got announced, I don't know about this. Why are they doing this? I wasn't fully bought in. Like I said, I'll admit that. It didn't sound like it was going to be a complete great idea. I'm not completely sold on it. I do like what we saw here. But if you're going to do a short film, why not just spend the time doing the actual full-fledged film for us and give us that? Why make us wait longer by putting money and time and effort into a short film? That's just my opinion. But for a short film, we're finally getting something Friday the 13th, something Jason related. So I am happy about that. What we saw there, comparing to the concept art to what Jason looks like, it does look pretty decent. So I'm hoping we'll get a full trailer maybe either here in the next week or two once Comic-Con has completed. Usually we'll see something like that happen as we did earlier this year with SXSW. As the event was happening, once it was done, we started getting a mound of trailers coming out. So hopefully we get something more outside of this teaser. All right, that's going to do it for this quick Friday the 13th update. We got a new film, video game in development, and we got the teaser trailer for the short film, Sweet Revenge. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about getting your first look at the new look and feel of Jason Voorhees. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.